This is the news. So I have to do day-to-day gags doing this. Hi, Ant, how are you?
I'm all right, Robert. How are you?
I'm good, and we're going to be chatting shit for 5 minutes about the Liverpool FC world.
What's on the agenda today?
What's on the agenda today, Ant? I'm glad you've asked, because I've written it down on a piece of paper so that I don't forget. And what's happening today is Liverpool are playing Exeter City in the FA Cup.
Bong,
and we fancy ourselves for this one, despite... We all know Jurgen's going to put out a bit of a shitty team. Actually, no, that's the wrong way of describing it. A youthful team. And Neil's written a great piece, which is on the site today, about what a good thing it is to actually watch youthful Liverpool sides rather than hodgepodge teams of squad players who don't fancy it.
Does it take you back? Halcyon days. Man and his dog.
Yeah, no, it's a very good piece. He's absolutely right. I think there's a spirit, rather than going to the game and think we have to watch Liverpool, grind out a win, half-assed performance like we did against Carlisle. Was it at the beginning of the season or last season? I can't remember. Seems a lifetime ago. At least we can get behind a young Liverpool team and make it count. Tony Barrett's predicting this team, and
lovely. For those that can't see, do you want to read it out?
Okay, I'll read it out. Mignolet in goal. He's suggesting Randall, Enrique and Laurie and Smith again form the back four. He thinks Brannigan, Stewart and Teixeira in midfield, with Kent, Benteke and Ojo this time.
Did you say Enrique?
I said Enrique. How do you say it?
I'd rather have you.
Cheers. I'm almost flattered.
It's not a compliment.
I'm hearing rumours from my impeccable sources, which are probably wrong.
You and your team rumours.
I'm hearing rumours that Tony's slightly wrong there, and that Jurgen's going to mix it up a bit and put Ivan Joe Allen in. What do you think will be the balance? Who are you backing, Tony or me, on this one?
I don't.
Doesn't really matter, does
I
it?
burst in your bubble, mate, but I'm going with
Toe.
With So, to be honest.
Right,
No, that seems to make sense. Give them. As I said after the first leg, I don't think they played particularly badly. They were doing okay, and then we got suckered a little bit with another mistake. And I think that the lads who played in the first leg deserve a chance to have another crack at it, because none of them really disgraced themselves apart from the wife-beating vest wearing, Jose Enrique. I think if Corker was eligible, he'd be straight in there, and maybe that would be the only change. But
Danny Ward would as well, wouldn't he?
You'd think so. It would be an ideal opportunity. Yeah,
Shame.
Yeah, it's an ideal opportunity for them, because you can get him in there without causing too much of a fuss, especially with Bogdan playing the previous rounds. But you never know. We might get a chance at West Ham, as I've written today.
Yeah, you've written a really good piece on the site about Danny Ward.
Thanks, man.
Helps me actually know what kind of a keeper he is.
Not a shit one.
Not a shit one. I'm dying to see him, quite frankly. Also, there's a lot of spotlight tonight on Christian Benteke.
Yeah.
I think every single source is saying he will start again. He hasn't started for a while, I don't think. Jurgen's come out with quite a strong defence of Christian today. He was asked questions. I think people said, journalists have tried to imply to him, are you all but finished with him? You're not picking him. Here's what he said, and I won't do the accent. He goes, you are too quick in your judgments. If I worked like this, I would send players who miss chances to the next club or whatever. Stay cool. Of course he has a future. That is not a question. He's also gone on to talk specifically about how he met Christian and his agent at Dusseldorf Airport a couple of years ago. He was that keen.
Well, I don't look. You make yourself look like a bit of a fool with this kind of thing. To me, if you make wild sweeping assumptions now, so I'm going to anyway. I always go back to when Rafa first arrived, and he basically said Danny Murphy was great and Gypsy say was great and everything's great.
Yeah.
And Mignolet's been under pressure. He's heavily backed Mignolet. Benteke, questions have been asked of him. He's heavily backing Benteke. It might just be his style. Maybe we'll get used to this. Basically, we won't know until the summer. We won't know until the summer whether this means, not whether he's being sincere or not, but ultimately, if you're Christian Benteke, and you're, at the minute, our only real option up front. And the manager's going, if anyone else was fit, I wouldn't really be playing him. You can't.
Sure.
You can't do that. And if he's trying to build a one-club mentality, of course you've got to back the lads. And to be honest, I don't see much wrong in doing that if it's a means to an end. And then at the end of the season, literally the minute the season's finished, go, right, See you later. That's it.
Yeah, I think the bottom line. I mean, look, there's a slight difference between the Murphy, without being contrarian, between the Murphy and Cisse situation. In that, I don't think Rafa pretended that he'd had them on the verge of signing for Valencia. Whereas I think this is genuine.
He did. He said that with Cisse.
Actually, that's true.
It's like what Cisse said.
But Danny Murphy less so.
My scout said if we'd have signed Cisse, we would have won the league in the year we didn't.
Which might have been true. At the end of the day, Cisse breaks his leg a month into the Rafa reign. That probably changes everything.
Yeah, but you've got to remember as well, we're talking different times. Jurgen's come in during the mid-season when he hasn't had the transfer window, so he's got no choice.
He has to back these
but to work with what he's got. It's not like where previous managers have come in over the summer and they've had an opportunity to change things before the race has even started.
Sure. Keeping on the striker tip, Daniel Sturridge can't keep out of the news, even though he's not playing. A number of things have happened in the past couple of days. One, Didi Hamann has come out with quite a lot of criticism of the club, saying they really are duty bound to explain to the supporters specifically what's going on.
Not as duty bound as Didi is to keep himself relevant.
That's a bit harsh on our Didi, but okay. No, I don't want to dwell.
Well, what rights did the man got to comment on that? The player's injured. Do you really think that he hasn't been signed off by a medical professional?
I don't think he's commenting on the player. I think he's commenting on the club here.
Well, then, why? Why give the game away? I mean, but it's at the end of the day, it's no one else's business but the club. If they want to update people on where he's up to, that's fine.
Actually, and also, I think it's a little. What's the word? Using the word the club. He actually means Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, exactly. And this isn't the first time Didi Man's had a little go at Daniel Sturridge because he's the hot topic. And I understand that there's a requirement for certain people to keep themselves in the news because that's their career now. But I think it's a Nottingham story, and I actually think, why I'm upset a little bit, I think it's mischief making when the situation's already.
Are you taking him more as a dig at Sturridge than Klopp? I think it's a little bit more at Klopp.
Well, he's already said a couple of weeks ago, he kind of intimated that he didn't think. He even said today, we know when I was at Manchester City and Daniel made his debut and, a little knock and he wasn't right.
Has he said that?
Yeah.
That is a bit harsh. Yeah.
And you cast in aspersions when ultimately the only people who really know where they're up to with Daniel Sturridge is Daniel Sturridge, the medical staff, and the club.
Yeah.
And if there is something going on in the background that is sensitive, or, who's to say that listen, football managers tell lies.
Yeah, okay. Well, all right. Well, do newspapers tell lies as well? And today, yesterday, a lot of them were saying that West Ham are submitting an £18 million bid for Daniel Sturridge. They're prepared to take a punt on him. Seems to be coming, I think it was the Brentwood Gazette or something East London-ish saying these things. So I think someone from West Ham.
David. It's David Golden. David. Who's the other one? Sullivan. Yes. Sullivan was doing the rounds with the media. He was on Sky Sports News for about an hour talking about West Ham's grand vision, blah blah blah, saying how things are brilliant, how the Olympic Stadium move's going to put them in a different stratosphere. No doubt he's probably just been shooting his mouth off the record. The fact of the matter is, no one in the right mind would be signing Daniel Sturridge for any amount of money at the minute, given his history over the last 18 months, whether it's 5 million, 50 million, or 100 million, simply because of the wage. The wage demands. Forget about the transfer fee for a minute. You just simply can't.
No, it'd be serious. Yeah, exactly. Who's going to offer a 4-year contract at the wage he's on at Liverpool and pay Liverpool?
Well, no, but if you're West Ham, it's not even the wage he's on. Why would he go to West Ham?
Well, that's a different thing. Why would he take that step? I agree.
It would be a ridiculous a deal if it's 80. If this is legitimate, think about this for a minute. If this is legitimate, right? And it's 18 million quid to transfer, so we call it 20, right? And they'd have to offer him if he's on roughly 150. How much would it take for him to go to West Ham, which is a step down, 180?
Well, yeah.
180 on
a longer contract.
Well, he's got 4 years left on his contract at Liverpool.
Well, probably got 2.5.
No, he's got 4 years. He signed a 5-year deal last summer.
Oh, right. Was it 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 180 grand, which is what a year? Come on, you're the maths man.
9 million.
9 million times 5.
45.
9 million times
45 million.
45 million plus the original 18.
What are we doing here?
So 65 million. 65 million pound on someone who's hardly played in the last 18 months. Bollocks.
I'm sorry, I asked now. Okay. Well, no, I did ask, and I think. Oh, look, this is the news for today. I think we've covered it off. We're recording a number of shows. And if you subscribe, you'll be able to hear me and Andy the Gutter Show, where we talk wildly about transfers, and we'll be talking. Oh, you'll be doing one of them. It doesn't matter.
I'm doing Unwrap, mate.
So you're doing that's just the next one. We're doing the Unwrap Show, where we'll be talking about Brendan Rodgers and his media round this week. In the Gutter Show, we'll be talking about transfers. We'll be talking about Sturridge and a crazy link to Morata of Juventus. All that and more. Stay tuned.